but no one knew when he had returned. His wife assumed the call had taken longer, but it was the next morning when the alarm was raised. Sadly, he was swept out to sea and not found. Now the inquest was this summer, and the outcome of that was the key failing was that there was no evidence that any monitoring of the lone workers for either the effectiveness of the procedure or of the individual's compliance. And we said at the time, in this case, he wasn't able to set his PDA back to base. Obviously, a serious accident happened, but that wasn't picked up by the company, and it was clear that no one tried to check in with him and see where he was. So, HSE, we did take some enforcement action against the RSPCA. It was limited enforcement action. But more importantly, the guidance was given to ensure that procedures are in place to monitor lone workers as effective means of communication are essential in order to try and identify and respond to the unforeseen risks. Now, I think in Sean's presentation he mentioned about it's the effectiveness of the procedure. So how can you make sure that you've got the most effective procedure? This is an extreme case, but I think it's worth noting. Like, you know, some of the things we would say you could do is supervisors periodically visiting and observing people working alone, see what they're doing. Pre-agreed intervals of regular contact between the lone worker and the supervisor, using the phones, radios, or whatever, bearing in mind the worker's understanding of English, issues like that. Have you got manually operated or automatic warning devices which trigger specific signals if they're not received periodically from the lone worker? Have you got robust systems to ensure a lone worker has returned to their base or home once the task is completed? Now, that's a behavioural change. You can have the best systems in place, but if the person doesn't do that automatically, then what can you do? But you need to have tested that and be confident that it's an effective procedure and people are doing that. We're all human, we will make mistakes, people will take a risk and accidents will happen, but it's about how much you can prevent that as much as possible is what HSE will be looking at. So we would look at like how the organisation tests the system in place. And this could be, you know, it's like we have a fire drill in work in the office, it's regular, it's Thursday morning, 10 o'clock, it goes off. It's second nature, don't think anything of it, but we all know what that fire drill sounds like, so it needs to be like the behavioural change that if there is a checking in system back into base, that actually happens.